that's been in.
Don't want to be on that. Kimi Raikkonen, who put in the most laps of any driver on the final day.
I guess he's dropped it through two and found the wall, hasn't he, and went straight in.
Well, let's see what Kimi Raikkonen touches to lose that front wing.
Exactly as Paul said, just back of the car, stepped out of the line as he picked the power up through turn 2.
Rear as well.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if that car doesn't go back out. You know, you wouldn't want to put the stress through the steering arm, would you? If it had a knock like that, you would want to NDT test it and just check the carbon structure of the wishbones is right. But
and anytime they get a hit on the rear, they worry about the gearbox, don't they?
Well, it pops the diff normally, doesn't it? The drive shaft normally can just be they're so thin.
20 years since his Formula One debut, Kimi Raikkonen, together with Fernando Alonso, the second and third F1 drivers still to be racing in the sport 2 decades after their debut.
It's only one practice session, might change now, but maybe we haven't even seen what the full capacity of this new Red Bull Honda.
Yeah, the balance is all over the place.
And that's driver number 2 into the swear jar for this season. Charles Leclerc has had a bit of a spin.
And you can see he's got through one. Oh, he was feathering the throttle all the way from 1 into 2.
Oh, the grip is incredibly low. I'm struggling quite a lot with the car at the moment.
This is Nikita Mazepin's spin. Saw that during testing, not from Nikita.
He had an off yesterday there, didn't he?
And that is a spin for Mazepin in the Haas. And that's not the first time we've seen the man from Moscow go for a spin on this track so far this weekend.
12, and then it falls a little bit downhill into 13. You do go across the wind there, and basically just no grip.
Yeah, lost the rears there.
I think the car was slightly unsettled as he began the turn-in phase. Now we see it from that other angle.
Big lock-up going into the first turn there. Oh, and another spin, but it's Nikita Mazepin again that's having trouble down there. Now, did anyone get caught up with the yellow flags down there and suffer and have to get off the throttle? As they head now down towards turn 4, and that's off, and that looks like a Haas, and it could have been Nikita Mazepin in the Haas. And it is Nikita Mazepin who went off and into the barriers.
He got a bit trigger happy with the throttle and went off and had his own accident.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yes, I crashed. I'm so sorry.
There's cars going wide. Could have been Sebastian Vettel right at the rear of the field, and there's a car spinning off as well. I wonder if he's tangled.
There's Mick Schumacher. Well, that's the second Haas we've seen, with just from the back ends come around on them.
We can now ride on board with Pierre Gasly, and that's the bit where he touched the rear of Daniel Ricciardo and lost his front wing. Oh, and who's had a tussle and a tangle? It's the Alpine of Esteban Ocon, and it's the Aston Martin of Sebastian Vettel.
Why did he have to change line? I lock up if he changes line.
No, he didn't, Seb. I'm sorry, that's 100% Seb's fault.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Let's throw behind you within 3.
I mean, he's gentle on the throttle, it sounds to me. They just haven't got the rear tyres up to temperature and got them working.
Yeah, I mean, he's on the hard tyre, but the track temperature is 36 degrees.
Braking, it's all okay. She's carrying a little bit too much speed in. The rear's come around on him. And there you go. Stuck.
Try to restart.
I'm stuck.
You're stuck?
Sorry. Yeah.
Oh,
And that's Sergio.
Sergio Perez having a spin at turn 13.
Yeah, as I thought. That's pretty fundamental error there. He's literally turned in from the gravel, and the left rear tyre is like, you're having a laugh, aren't you?
Oh, somebody's in the wall. Alonso. What did he do there? Did he hit the inside? Did he hit the inside wall?
Because the front right part of the wing is damaged. Here we go. Let's have a look as he... Ooh.
Oh. It just
went...
I mean, fortunately, he's able to drive.
No, he just missed the turn and went straight on.
Touched the barrier, touched the curb, touched the barrier harder.
Interestingly, he never broke the track rod either. He hit it hard, but generally sometimes you see it used to break the track rod.
Yeah. And it glanced it hard rather than took the full impact.
Oh, that's a big one.
That is Mick Schumacher.
I don't know what to say. I'm very sorry about that.
Into Casino Square. Oh, back end's just gone.
It's been unfortunate, but listen, just carried a bit too much speed.
Oh, and it's going to come to nothing for Max Verstappen. He might have been setting the pace, but Charles Leclerc, the man on pole, has gone into the barriers. The red flag has come out with only 18 seconds remaining. That is it for qualifying. Leclerc's on pole, but he's crashed and he's ended the session early, and the man who could deny him has been thwarted.
Oh, he hit the barrier on the way in, then broke his track rod. Broke the steering arm, and just a little ski slope to help him on his way towards the barriers.
Charles Leclerc into the barrier.
Yep, Paul.
There's a car on the wall at Haas. Mazepin.
Mazepin, yeah.
Into turn 16. I think he's just going to drop it, a bit like Norris, but unable to save it.
He doesn't touch the curb on the way in, so yeah, you'd have to say it's probably a bit of tailwind going into that corner. Sorry,
it's a Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, who just set a 35.8 in the first sector.
I have to say that's ruined the laps of the others coming up that were behind on the new set of soft tyres as well. Verstappen, Hamilton.
Oh.
Yeah, just that lock-up. Like I said, that barrier is staring at you into there, and you need to try and brake as late as you can. There's lap time to be found there, but it's exactly what we were talking about before, John. You have to be quick thinking inside the car to go, I'm not going to make this, and then abort and go down the escape road.
Talking of going into the barriers, yeah. Max Verstappen. So Max Verstappen's gone in at turn 15 where we saw Charles Leclerc go into the wall yesterday.
You can try and reverse, yes. It's not letting me use it.
Straighten the car up, and the braking is the inside front of the locks. No, the inside left. Yep. I thought we were going to see a repeat of Leclerc's one from yesterday where the inside front from the right-hand part of the braking lock, but no, that was just a bit too late.
This is Lance Stroll, who has been in the wall, I would imagine, at turn 15, and the first yellow flag of the session was 4 minutes into it, and that is an absolute disaster, sporting-wise, for Lance Stroll.
Sorry.
And this is what happened to Lance Stroll at turn 15, and the wall comes at you very quickly indeed. And that is the Alfa Romeo of Antonio Giovinazzi, and that's the second red flag.
Sorry guys, I crashed.
Copy, Antonio.
That's Giovinazzi. This corner is proving such a handful.
It's not been like that in previous years either, is it? But there's a bump early on in the brakes as they bring it back, and I think it's that hesitation.
Daniel Ricciardo, and another one into the barriers, and I would imagine that is going to be our third red flag of the session. It is our third red flag of the session, and he just locked up on that front left, and once again, no margin for error.
Yeah, there was no way you were getting out of that one. Definitely not.
Oh, we've got Yuki Tsunoda and a red flag. So Yuki Tsunoda and also Carlos Sainz, they must have had a coming together. That's it for qualifying. Charles Leclerc, whose crash in Monaco last time out brought an abrupt end to qualifying and saw him on pole, will see himself on pole for a second race running. This time it's not his crash, it's his teammate who's involved with Yuki Tsunoda. So we're on board now with Yuki Tsunoda. First time ever in Q3.
It's too late. It's too late before he even goes on the brakes.
Pushing too hard. But what happened then to Carlos Sainz, I wonder, who would have been behind Yuki Tsunoda? He then locks up. and slides his way.
That'll be a gearbox as well.
Oh.
This guy crashes ahead of me and I just lose the focus.
Solid. Yeah, no worry.
So did the crash of Tsunoda catch Carlos's attention, and could that have been part of the reason? Oh no, and that is an accident, and it is Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin. And as I said, here in Baku, you are only a few centimetres away from a big accident, and a safety car, you would imagine, is inevitable at this stage. Let's have a look and see what happened to Lance Stroll. And yeah, absolutely no chance of avoiding the accidents. I said potentially coming into the pits.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Whoa, red flag, red flag.
It can go right down to the checkered flag, and look at, oh, and it's Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen on the main straight, leading this race, now out of this race. We saw Valtteri Bottas back in 2018 lose the Azerbaijan Grand Prix with a tyre failure. History's repeated itself in 2021, and this year it's Verstappen.
It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable, Crofty.
Pirelli have gone one step softer with the tyre compounds for this year's race. Have they gone too soft, or is it just construction?
They've changed you can see, look at the tyre, you can see it's already failed. But they've changed the construction for this year, Crofty. They're a lot heavier. The drivers don't like the tyres. Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Karun. He even hit the wall with the front corner as well. Somebody in the wall, and Aston Martin.
Sebastian Vettel off at Le Beauce. So at the very quick corner there, he's gone all the way back.
So here it is. Odd one.
I wonder if the wind, because at that point he's turning across the wind there. It's a long, long 180-degree corner, and you're going from, you know, at one point you're going from having the crosswind coming from your left, then suddenly it's on your rear, and at the point he snapped, that's when the wind was behind the car. It was going from, you know, perpendicular to behind, and I think the wind has just caught him off there. He's come through too, then he's just snapped the rear end. And again, I wonder, Paul, as you go over that crest, it's just over the top, isn't it, that the wind catches you?
It's one of those ones that you need to go flat into the throttle as you kind of get into the second apex, and you cannot afford to lift, because you lift, it changes the pitch of the car, and that's where you likely lose out there.
Yuki Tsunoda, he's gone into the barriers, he's gone a long way off the track.
He's wrecked the lap of his teammate as well, for good measure.
And he's red flagged the session as well.
What's just going through my mind, Crofty, is whether he actually had a transmission problem. I suspect not. Okay, so it's locked up. At that point, the gearbox is locked up. And now he's dropped it there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So now, basically, the car's going backwards, but the transmission wants to go forward. And you're getting the juddering.
It's like a belly dancing Formula One car as it goes into the barriers. And that is Mick Schumacher against the barriers, and you can see that the Haas stranded and has made quite a hefty contact. Oh, and it's a red flag. So it's a red flag, which means that those that were on a lap have no chance whatsoever to finish that lap. The session stops and will end right here.
Oh, there's somebody spun going out the pits.
Carlos Sainz spun the exit of the pit lane.
Yeah, so lost the rear over that curb and then spun, and now that's where he got stuck in a forced neutral. So
explain that, Ant.
It's not actually a neutral gear, so it's actually there for the marshals to recover cars. There's a button on the car you can press to put it into what they call a false neutral, where they can roll the car away. So for some reason, I guess the car went into a anti-stall, and he couldn't actually get out of that false neutral. What we got here, Perez down at turn 4. He's a bit late on the turn.
Just caught that.
Lovely,
and
understeered mid-corner.
Yeah, but he took in a lot of speed, didn't he? Missed the actual apex of the corner, then ran wide. Bit of understeer, I presume.
This is the spin Carlos Sainz are down towards turn 5.
Carbon copy of Perez from earlier on.
Maybe I had a spin, I don't know. Maybe I touched the gravel.
Your dad would have held it.
Strange one.
Well, his dad would have been used to it, driving on the gravel. Carlos a little less, Carlos Jr. a little less used to that.
His dad had four-wheel drive, to be fair.
Yeah, to be fair. Can I just say, how calm does that man?
Bit of inside wheel lift. I just did exactly what Sainz did. And you can see Lewis.
Oh, it didn't look good in the middle of 6. Oh, he did. He hit the gravel on the exit.
He was lucky, wasn't he?
That's where the flat spots came from.
So they've moved the gravel nearer to the edge of the track. He might have got away with that 12 months ago.
It might have ruined another part of the car.
And there's chaos at the back. Yuki Tsunoda and also Nicholas Latifi and Antonio Giovinazzi.
And then along the straight, this is a little bit clumsy going on here now. There's not enough space, so left rear puncture for Gasly.
And let's have a look at it.
Has he dropped it starting the lap? Actually, he has, hasn't he?
Yes.
Man, I had no grip picking up the power. These tires are done.
Here we go, towards turn 1 with Lando Norris. All looks very nice at this moment, and then, whoa!
Just lit up the rears as he picked up the throttle.
What was it Paul DeResta said earlier about turn 3? Got on the throttle too early?
It was, but then on that sausage curb.
Okay, what damage do you have? Talent. Just the tires are flat spotted.
This is why there was a yellow flag. Yuki Tsunoda, turn 9, whoa!
How did he get away with that? Oh, put a lottery ticket on. That's not a place you want to spin.
No.
Yeah, I don't know, but I got massive stuff.
Wow, wow, wow. I tell you, that is a catch.
And a half. Seriously, I've seen goalkeepers at Euro 2020 that would do well to produce saves like that. And we've got a safety car as everything now slows down. He's the filling in a sandwich, and Giovinazzi clips his front right.
There was a bit of an incident on the last lap. I think Vettel getting involved here as well. Up in here's Vettel getting the run on Raikkonen.
Oh dear. And they might want to have a little chat about that at the end of this race.
I wonder if Raikkonen's just been caught off guard. I don't think Vettel did anything wrong there, to be honest.
No. Well, he was ahead, wasn't he?
No damage. The cars, they'll just need a fresh coat of paint for the next race, I would suspect.
Oh, he's actually spun it. That's after the checkered flag.
That's not great for a practice start.
This is Nikita Mazepin. Oh, tangled with his teammate Mick Schumacher, and that's what sent him into a spin. This is the incident between George Russell and Carlos Sainz. Lock up from the McLaren, and Russell just tapping the Ferrari as it then headed off towards the barriers.
It's round. Perez is round.
Perez is
That's
spinning.
going in the wall.
Sergio Perez off, and off in a big way. Damage to the front wing. He's managed to keep going. Can he limp back to the pits here? Oh, this is horrendous for Sergio Perez, who nearly gets collected as he makes his way back onto the hangar straight.
Well, that's the jeopardy we talked about in this sprint, and the last thing that Perez or Red Bull needed in the turbulent air following two other cars.
Hamilton's going to try again, this time on the inside, a continent touch! Verstappen is out of the race, and that's a big crash into Copse! Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen coming together. Hamilton continues on, but for the second time this season, Hamilton and Verstappen clash and tangle on the opening lap, but this time it is ending in dramatic consequences for the championship leader. It was the merest of touches, but it was enough. And look how the wheel has come loose from the rim as well. The tyres come loose from the rim.
I said it wasn't over yet, didn't I, as they came out of Luffield.
Was there a bit more room to the right that Hamilton should have been finding?
Yes, red flag.
They need to repair that tyre barrier.
Sebastian Vettel got too trigger happy on the throttle as he watched Alonso going around the outside of left field and just looped it around.
Lewis Hamilton, meanwhile, has a 10-second time penalty for causing a collision. Did Perez and Raikkonen make contact? I think if they didn't, Raikkonen certainly ran out of space, went over the curb, and that caused the spin.